Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be how to talk to your brain to end your pain. So, get to that in a second. Fill your lungs up. But more importantly is relax your body. A body posture like this screams to your brain, I'm in danger. Look at how tight and tense they are. And that can be a natural state. I was all bound up for a long time. Tight, tense, guarded. And I know for certain that a relaxed body, allowing yourself to breathe comfortably, is a message of safety to the brain. Because if you're relaxed and breathing comfortably, your brain's going, you must be okay. If you're like this and breathing shallow because you're so bound up you can't breathe deeply, your brain has no choice but to perceive danger. So relax your body. Allow your breath to slow down, become a little bit more full. So, how to talk to your brain to end your pain. Now, for any people who have read Dr. Sarno's work and are familiar with the 12 daily reminders, one of them is talk to your brain. So I tried that for a long time. Never worked. Not by itself, anyway. I eventually got out of pain. But how do you talk to your brain? At one point I think Sarno even said, give your brain hell, right? Be very clear with it, like, give it hell. I'm not certain I'm on board with that. I think if the brain is perceiving danger and yelling at your brain is not necessarily a message of safety, is it? Because it's kind of like I'm fighting with my brain. I've seen comments and received emails where people say, I've been at war with my brain and my body for most of my life. I've been at war with it. And I can assure you, war is not safe. Nothing about it is safe. Warring with your body doesn't help it work better. Being at war with your brain doesn't make your mental or physical health any better. And so what you'll hear as I go through some examples today is that partnering with your brain, treating your brain like a best friend who's looking out for you but is just overprotective and turning on the warning signals all the time, I think that's a much more conducive way to find peace. Because war is not safe. Peace is safe, right? I'm okay. I'm not at war anymore. So if you're at war with your brain or your body, I'm going to really strongly encourage you to rethink that strategy. And it may not even be a conscious strategy. It may just be your default. Right? But recovery from this is a conscious, intelligent, decision-based approach as opposed to intuitively reacting with fear, panic, anger, at war. Because that strategy, those strategies, the fear, the panic, the warring with your brain and body, has not been successful for you yet. So I'm going to encourage you to make peace with your brain and your body. Your brain is your best friend. It's just trying to keep you safe. From the moment you were conceived until the moment you pass, your brain's primary function, subconsciously, is your survival. Secondary to that is your safety, because safety leads to survival, right? Your brain doesn't know how to work against you. Now, I know it might seem that way with all the thoughts that we get, the fearful thoughts. What if I die? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I never get better? It's easy to conclude, my brain's an asshole, right? It's easy to come to that conclusion, but you would be mistaken. Your brain doesn't know how to work against you, and when you start to view even these fearful, watch out for this danger, watch out for that danger, what if this happens, what if that happens, when you start to look at it as coming from a brain that's just trying to keep you safe, it softens things. The war can kind of settle down. And the brain is trying to keep you safe with all of these negative, fearful, be careful thoughts because its primary job is safety and survival. The key here is if the brain is really aggressively coming at you with these negative, fearful, health, anxiety-based thoughts, absolutely it's trying to keep you safe, but it's misinformed. It's operating on bad data and fear. And what do we know about fear? Fear is a liar. False evidence appearing real. Right? False evidence appearing real. The evidence is false. So, foundation, we know we're okay, right? You understand that the perception of danger is what creates pain or symptoms. You understand that that applies to you because you've done the assessments, right? And if not, isthispdp.com. Do the assessments. If you've got multiple symptoms, do the assessments once per symptom. Get clear, get clarity. So, how to talk to your brain. You're probably like, come on, Dan, get with it. It's already 6 minutes into the video. You haven't told me how to talk to my brain yet. I just really wanted to lay the groundwork. We want to talk to the brain as if we're partnering with it. I like the idea where we can kind of have a playful conversation with our brain. Because playful is safe. Angry, yelling at our brain is not conveying safety. And if you're angry and yelling at your brain, it's likely because you're afraid and pissed off. So, assume you're going out somewhere and symptoms start to climb a little bit. How to talk to your brain. Oh, hey brain, I see you're bringing those symptoms along with me, or you're starting to turn them up. But I just want to be clear, I am not concerned with this. I know you're just turning on the alarm system because you think going out and doing whatever I'm doing is dangerous. But come on, work with me. You were there when I watched all those videos. You were there when I read those books. You were there when I learned about mind-body symptoms, perceived danger symptoms. You were there. So you know that it applies to us because you were there, brain. Come on. You were there when we did the assessments, and the assessments clearly said perceived danger pain, TMS. You were there. So let's work together. I'm going to keep on doing more and more. I don't want you to assume that more means too much. Right? But I'm going to continue to do more. And if you decide to turn up the symptoms, I'm going to be unconcerned. I am not going to flip out. I'm not going to panic because I know, and so do you, brain, if you admit it, I know that I'm okay. I've done the work. I've got the intellectual knowledge, but that knowledge is sinking into my heart, into my wisdom. I have a deep knowing that I'm actually okay because I've done the assessments. I understand how this system called the human body works, and I'm unconcerned by the symptoms that are happening. And it doesn't matter, brain, whether you change the symptoms, whether they go up, they go down, they flare, whatever you want to do. I remain unconcerned because I've got this deep knowing as to how this system works. And I know you're just concerned. And I know, thank you so much. I love you. You love me. I know you're just doing your job. You're trying to keep me safe. But you're misinformed because I'm truly, truly not in danger. You know it too. So I know you're trying to protect me. I know you're trying to keep me safe. I know you are doing your best by turning on these false alarms. But I'm here to tell you it's time to turn those alarms off because they're not keeping me any safer. As a matter of fact, they're making my life more challenging. Right? In order for me to be safer, you're going to want me to have less pain or symptoms. Ideally none. So come on, brain. We're going to partner. You willing to work with me? Good. Turn off the symptoms. They're not benefiting me. They're not helping me. They're not keeping me safe. And they're disrupting my joy and purpose and meaning in life and my ability to lead a normal, creative, productive life. You're not keeping me safe. So let's get on the same page. I know I'm okay. You know I'm okay, but you're just scared because you're operating on misinformation. So I'm going to do my best to inform you of the correct information, the accurate knowledge, so that the fear can come down When the fear comes down, I know, brain, you're going to turn off these symptoms because there's no need for a false alarm when you know that I'm actually okay. Right? So, folks, does this make sense to you? We want to have direct instructional conversations with our own brain. And somebody asked me recently, well, Dan, let's say I've got a real concern. I had a bout of cancer or some heart disease or something. How am I supposed to convince myself that I'm safe? You can have a direct conversation with the brain that says, hey, I've got a legitimate thing. I'm currently in the middle of a cancer bout. I'm going through the treatment, and that's going to go well. I trust that the doctors and the medicines and the treatments will go well. I trust my body to go well. So, brain, we're gonna chill as much as we can through that, and that will maximize our odds of getting through that with the least amount of distress and challenges. But let's be clear. That concern is legitimate, and I should be concerned, and brain, you should be too. But let's be super clear. There's no reason that my mind-body symptoms have to elevate just because I'm dealing with a legitimate medical thing. It doesn't matter if it's a toothache or cancer or a need for some legitimate medical procedure or surgery. You can separate the two. You can literally, through this self-talk, through this speaking with your brain, you can instruct the brain to say, yep, got a legitimate thing called a root canal, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. I don't like the dentist and it hurts, but hey, let's not be confused, brain. There's no need for you to turn up the symptoms just because I have to go do this thing that I don't like. And it doesn't matter what the trigger is. Somebody just pointed out today in a message, they're like, yeah, I don't have deep, deep fear surrounding this medical thing that's going on. So why do my symptoms go up when I get a lousy night's sleep? You can have the same level of conversation with your brain to say, hey, I had a bad night's sleep, but brain, you don't have to turn on the alarms. I'm actually okay. Yeah, I went out and I did more than I usually do. You don't have to turn on the alarms because I didn't do anything bad. Nothing damaging or dangerous truly happened. I just walked a little farther. Does this stuff make sense? Are you starting to see how you can start to have those conversations with yourself? And I bet somebody's going to ask, well, do I have these conversations out loud? My family will think I'm crazy. You don't have to. You can have them in your head. But if you have some privacy, I think it's better to say it out loud. Primarily because that means you're receiving this information in three modalities. You're speaking it, you're hearing it, and you can also feel it, right? You're thinking it, speaking it, feeling it. Because when you're speaking out loud, you can add inflection to your voice. Come on, brain. We're on the same team here, right? You were there, I was there, we know the same knowledge. I'm unconcerned, so I really need you to get on board and become unconcerned because we have accurate knowledge. We know that this is what applies to us, and I'm really not in any danger, so come on, brain. You hear how that inflection is better than if you just think it? Because I think when you think something, it's a little more monotone, a little more static, and it might not be as impactful as if you think it, speak it, hear it, and therefore feel it. I think out loud is better if you have the opportunity. If you don't know if you've got that opportunity, next time you're in the car, next time you're in the shower, next time you're somewhere. But if your family's going to think you're nuts, then I get it. It can be a little embarrassing. Or you can say, the heck with it. I'm going to do it anyway. And hey, family, mom or dad, so I'm going to be talking to myself. And don't mind me. Right? But you can make it playful. Make it playful. Don't have it be this serious conversation where I've got to get the point across to you because you're not listening to me. Like, that conveys danger. So make it fun, playful, partnership. Come on, brain. We're going to work together on this. I love that partnership idea. And I'm finding, feedback from my community, the group, that these things help. They really help because they're messages of safety. And more importantly, it's very specific instructions to the brain. And so somebody says, how do you separate a real legitimate fear from a true medical issue and, the typical perceived dangers? Clear instructions. Clear discussion with yourself, with your fearful brain that says, yeah, I got a dentist appointment, but don't get any ideas because there's no reason for the other stuff to kick up at all or come back at all or have any symptoms at all. So instruct your brain to turn off the pain. Instruct your brain to shut down the symptoms because you are truly okay. And we know that because we understand how the system works. And more importantly, you've done the assessments right. And the assessments indicate this is a mind-body process happening and that your body's fine. By definition, TMS, perceived danger pain, means your body's not the problem. A fearful brain is perceiving danger. But it's false perceptions that are doing this. So this direct conversation with your brain can work. Now, do you have to do it all day? No. You can have this discussion in the middle of, in the morning when you wake up. Have this discussion. And if you're out and about and the symptoms kick up a little bit, you can say, hey, brain, you were there this morning. We had this nice conversation where we set the tone for the day. We don't have to talk about it again, but come on, get on board. I'm not concerned. You shouldn't be either. Period. Done. You don't have to have a 20-minute conversation with your brain every time you notice the symptoms. Because if you do, your brain's going to look at that and go, holy cow, he or she is talking to themselves all day long. There must be a problem. Right? So don't overdo it. Get clear. Maybe once in the morning, once later in the day. And if you notice your symptoms, do your best not to react to them the typical way of, You'll notice it. You can't change your ouch response. That'll happen. But then it's what you do next. Respond cool, calm, collected, confident. Know that you're okay. And remind your brain, hey, we had that conversation in the morning. Come on, you can dial this down. We're not in trouble. And the less concern you show, the better off you will be. The better off you will be. Somebody, I think, in a YouTube comment, or maybe, I don't know, I forget where it was, maybe an Instagram comment, said, I had a flare-up. And my initial thought was panic. But then I caught myself and I said, nope, not going to do it. Reminded themselves that they were fine. And their flare-ups used to last 3 weeks. This one day. So you can dramatically influence the brain's perception of danger with how you respond and how you speak to it. And you can dramatically improve your situation. And the more you do it, the faster you're going to recover from flare-ups. The fewer flare-ups you're going to have, the less intense they will be. Consistent messages of safety, folks. That's the name of the game. So, hope this makes sense. How to talk to your brain to end your pain or symptoms. It applies to all symptoms. Have these conversations. Make them fun. Make them playful. Partner with your brain. Stop warring with your brain and your body. Your body's just doing the best it can, given the instructions from the control center called the brain. Give the brain better instructions. Feed that computer the right, accurate information. And this computer is going to run this machinery called the human body so much better. There was, I forget the guy's name, B.J. Palmer, I think, one of the original chiropractors. He had a statement that said, nature needs no help, just no interference. Well, if you think about this brilliant computer of the brain, fear is interference, misinformation, bad data, misdiagnoses. Those are all misinformation. Those are all interference to this beautiful, miracle of nature called the human body. It knows how to take care of itself. So does your brain if you give it the right information. So sometimes these conversations that we can have with ourselves can be massively beneficial. So talk to your brain. Instruct it to end your pain or symptoms. And play with this. Make it playful, fun, partnering. Hope this helps. Comment below. Let me know what you think. If you're on YouTube and you're not a subscriber, hit that red subscribe button. If you're on Facebook and you don't watch me on YouTube, go watch me on YouTube. I have a whole playlist, not a playlist, I've got the entire archive in one location, dansyoutube.com. You'll see the most recent video at the top and scroll down for nearly 1,800 videos coming up soon. They're all there. And then once you're in the YouTube channel, you can search by topic. Migraines, anxiety, fear, mindset, whatever it may be, indifference. So, love you all. I'm going to wrap this one up. It's been a long video, but I think it was super, super important. I hope you found this beneficial. Play with it. Make it fun. Partner with your brain. This, in my opinion, is how you talk to your brain to end your pain and other symptoms. So, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Give a like in Facebook. Comment. It helps the algorithms. Share this with more people. And as always, I love you. I know you can do this stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.